Hello, everyone. So in the last session, we talked about Salesforce metadata, and then we talked about the tools which can help us to see the relationship between the objects. We also talked about Developer Console, which is a tool through which we can, in-house tool of Salesforce, through which we can create our custom components like Apex class, trigger, lightning, aura components, Visual Force pages, Visual Force component, and some external tools which will deployment tools which will help us to deploy the stuff. Today in this session, we'll try to cover a way to install the VS Code, connect the VS Code with our org, and how can we start writing codes and deploying it through the VS Code. Okay, so for that, what I will do, I'll first share the screen. Yeah. So what you have to do is you'll have to first install VS Code. So install VS Code, you just have to search two things you have to install. Install first Salesforce CLI. So you have to open this link, install Salesforce CLI, which is a Salesforce link. And if you're using a Windows, obviously you have to go on this. If you're using Mac, go on this. For now, I think I have Windows. I'll go on this. Open CLI download page. Now you're here. Based on your bits, you have to choose -64. So I'll click on this and it will start downloading the Salesforce CLI. Once it is downloaded, you will have to install it as well and complete all the instructions. Okay, so once CLI is installed, what you can do, you can go on install VS Code as well, Windows or Mac. Click on this. In my laptop, VS Code is already installed, so I'll not follow those instructions. I'm just giving you a link. Open, click on this Windows 10 and 11, and it will start downloading the file, and you will have to just install it. Once installation is complete, you're done with that. What you can do is can open the VS Code, and the VS Code will open quite like this. For now, not like this. This is I have already connected a org, that is why it's showing. Let me just update it and restart it. Takes few seconds. Okay. So once you install, first thing you have to do is you have to create a folder somewhere. Let's say I'm creating a folder here. Okay. So VS Code training. That's the folder name. Okay. You can give any name. Once you create a folder, what do you have to do? You have to go on the file and click on open folder. Okay. So I think I'm in documents and Salesforce training syllabus and VS Code training. Select folder. Okay. Now everything will be plain and you will also see a similar screen here. Okay. Once you're on this screen, the next thing what you have to do is you have to install some extensions. So click on this extension link. The first extension which is must you should install is Salesforce extension pack. I think I have to update it. So what you can do is you just have to search for Salesforce extension pack. Okay. Once you search, open this, you will see an install button here. Click on install. Okay. Once you install it, you're done. Next, you have to install is click on this extension link again. Whatever I've installed, let's see. Uh, wait, I'll remove this. Yeah, these are the installed one. Agent Force for developer. Yeah, this is a new extension pack. I think you must be hearing about Agent Force. It's a it's an AI tool which will help you to write the code automatically. So install this as well. Then install Apex. Search the Apex and install it. log analyzer if it's not required, but you can just see it. So it's install the Aura components, install the Lightning Web component as well. This will help you to write the Lightning Web components. Uh, Salesforce Analytics CLI instructions, install this as well. Uh, you can install this as well. Salesforce CLI integrations, code analysis not required. Extension pack we have already installed. Validator not required. SOQL you can install. Visual Force pages you can install. Okay, so major thing you have to install is extension of Lightning Web component, Agent Force for developer, and then Salesforce extension package. That is must. These things you should install. So once you install it, just restart your VS Code again and open this folder. If it's not open, open this folder. Once you are ready and your CLI is installed, what you can do is you can press Control, Shift, and P. P for Peacock. It will open this. It will say create project with manifests, create project. Always choose create project with manifest. Okay. Choose standard. Give it a name like SFDC training org. You can give it name according to your org. If you are doing any in development org, you can write dev org. In QA org, you can write QA org. All those things you can do. So I'm writing according to my org name so that I know, and just click on create project. Now all these manifests will appear and my project is ready. But there is no org connected to this, right? No default org set. So click on this, no default org set, and click on authorize an org. For me, it's production. I'll choose production because it's my training production org. So org alias you can just give training prod, and it will open the default browser whichever you're using. Now I'll have to look for the username and the password. Let's see if I recall that. It takes few seconds to open the browser. See, it's running the Salesforce CLI instruction extension. That is why you need those extensions. Meanwhile, I will just search for the username and password. I'll take a screen for a few minutes because I have to open the password page. So I'll stop the sharing for a few minutes. Still running. Hmm. Okay, now it has launched the page, and that's my username of the training org. And then I'm typing my password. Click on login. I can save it. Once you log in, it will ask you to allow. So you just have to click on allow. Now the authentication is successful. What you will see in the VS Code is it's successful. Now it's corrected. Okay. So or successful. Is this error? You can ignore this. Okay. Now your org is connected. Your Salesforce CLI is set. What you want to check is what are the components. So do you have any class? No, no class. Do you have any object? Nothing is there. Everything is blank. So first is you will have to import some information. Let's say you have a trigger already written. You can import it. If you want to import an object, let's say there's no object. Okay, let's import object first. So how to import an object? You will have to go on manifest. You have to click on package.xml and you will see a list here which is already there. Okay, see everything. It's called a package.xml. So you have a member apex star means all apex class, all apex component, all visual apex page. All these will be imported if it's there. What I will do, I will copy this. I'll just paste it and I will write here custom object. Let's see. And if you're not sure about the package.xml, so you can just search package.xml for your component name. Suppose I'm custom object. So what it will do, it will give you the package.xml for custom object. So your custom object is there. So I think I have written it correct. I'll just click on save and right click on this package.xml. I'm having some issue with my right click. Should work. Yeah. And click on retrieve source in manifest from or. Okay. Click on this. And let's wait for, okay, retriever is failed. Why? Okay. If not, retrieve this from org. Let's see. Let's move everything and let's just keep object. Okay. Now let's do one more thing. Let's give it a specific name, student underscore. Let's see if it's working. Source CLI integration. Okay. Enable. Let's restart VS Code also. Sometime takes some. If it doesn't work this time, I'll investigate and I'll check it. What is the issue? And we'll create an Apex class first. So this is let's give it a time. Let our org appear here. Yeah, our org is ready here. Now let's again try this. Retrieve. This org doesn't have source tracking, no component retrieve. Okay, no worries. So we'll see that. I will see this and I will try to resolve it. After this, what you can do is you can simply click on uh, files. I think you have to click on new file and then you have a class here. So you can write here welcome class and click on enter. Okay. Now you say generate code. It's because we have installed the Agent Force. It's going to give you a direct code if you just simply give it an instruction. To launch an Agent Force, you'll have to go on. Then this is our browser training prod. Okay. Here. Somewhere here you should see Agent Force symbol. It's not coming. Oh, I have to enable Agent Force in the org, then only it will appear. In the org, it's not enabled. So let's write a first class called Hello World. We'll print Hello World. Public class name is welcome class, and then this is the structure. Will print. Do you want to install recommended solution pack? No, not want to install. Okay, what we'll do, we'll create a method, public static void welcome method. There's no parameter. We'll simply print system dot debug. This is for printing welcome, and just click on save. Now class is ready. In the class, let's see if it's getting deployed or not, or we are facing similar issues. If we are facing similar issue, then that might be issue with my Java and CLI. To do this, we have to click on deploy this to org. Okay, it's not working. So I have to check that. Once we deploy it, it will get deployed to our org and we can see the output in the org. So let's first fix, well, I think I'll have to fix it to the entire system. There's some issue with my system. That is why it's not working. I don't want to waste time here and I will do it offline and I will let you know what was the issue. Okay. Similarly, if you want to create any other component, let's say trigger, you have to click on that trigger, click on new file, and you can start writing the code into it. Okay. And okay. So I think we'll start off about Salesforce. I think we are set with the tools. We are all ready to start writing the code. Once if it's working for you, that's good. And once we start right about first we'll start with data types in code, and then we'll start writing small codes first. We'll see the output of those codes, and then keep moving towards the deeper part of the code. That's how we'll cover this entire sessions. Okay, so let's continue in the next session and start with fresh coding classes. Thank you.